This is Sheepdog Preparedness. Are you ready?
Well, good morning and welcome back to Sheepdog Preparedness. You got Kenny back with you, trying to do a good routine again of maybe getting at least one video out a week again. Now that I'm back to having a lot more free time. I am self-employed again now, full-time, so no longer working on someone else's hours, making my own hours, which is great, and gives me a little bit more time to concentrate on the things at hand. Winter's coming. We've been stacking the firewood already pretty good. Been working hard on the garden, doing a lot of canning like I did last year, laying stuff in, getting ready for the winter. Hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be cranking out a lot of material between now and then over the winter we can kind of hibernate in away from the weather and enjoy some reloading and things like that. I'm going to do a video pretty soon on reloading. I'm not going to show how to reload, but I am going to talk about the benefits of reloading as it pertains to survival and preparedness. Today I just wanted to touch on security. I had mentioned security in the video. If you check the prior postings down below, you'll see that I've done a video on forming groups. Security is the main reason for doing that. If you think you're going to go into an SHTF scenario and do it all alone, whether you're by yourself in the middle of nowhere in a house, or even if you've got a family, it's going to be tough, folks. That's why forming these relationships and these groups now is so highly important. You're not going to be able to secure everything you've gathered against potential trouble. And I know there are a lot out there that will say, oh, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're probably never going to see trouble. There's no guarantee of that. But if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're out in the country, that's why you need to start talking to your neighbors now and finding out who has that preparedness mindset, who's willing to work with you, who's willing to get on the team, so that you know that you've got somebody there for backup to report seeing something weird, or to help you out when you run out of something and they've got what you need. Everybody, the first thing they start thinking of when it comes to security would be alarms and cameras and things like that. Well, what happens if in the SHTF scenario that we face, what happens if it's a grid down situation and there's no power? Do you have solar to back those things up? Do you have battery power to back those things up? How do they run? I've got numerous cameras. I've got numerous trail cameras. The security cameras, I haven't put the time yet into battery backup other than what's already built in. So yeah, if power goes out and it's a day-to-day power outage or a blackout or a brownout that only lasts for a day or two, I'm fine. I can still pull those cameras up and use them and see what's going on. But it's time to dive in and do a little bit more on solar like I've been talking about for so long, so that I can have those things running for not just a couple of days, but a couple of months if need be. I'm not going to go in-depth into tactical security stuff. There's a million videos out there on YouTube. Just choose carefully when you're watching those. Some of these guys know what they're talking about, and some of them are a bunch of yahoos that went out and bought them a set of body armor, and they're just talking out the side of their face. I always recommend stuff from Viking Preparedness, from Pastor Joe. He even does some training. You can go take a class from him, and the dude is Special Forces. He knows what he's talking about. It's not cheap. I think his class is maybe $1,000 or $1,500 to go down there for a weekend or whatever it is to do the security training. But I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. So learn what you can. There are good books out there. His book is good. Pick up on some good information from the right sources. Get your firearms training good. If you live in a state like we do here in Missouri, they now allow, well, it's permitless carry. It's not constitutional carry. But if you have that, get training anyway. I always recommend going ahead and taking a concealed carry course just to get some basic pistol skills in there. And then once you've got that, build on that. If you're here in Missouri, look at the guys from armedmissouri.com. armedmissouri.com. The dudes know what they're doing. Excellent training. I've taken stuff from them. Even with my background in law enforcement and owning a security company, those guys taught me some stuff, and they just know what they're doing. Can't recommend enough getting out there and getting some hands-on firearms training, and especially some hand-to-hand training, maybe some hand-to-hand combat training, some defensive shooting training is awesome. Get stuff like that. Security goes back to my communications video as well. Communications are highly important in security scenarios. Since you're not going to be doing this alone, you know you're going to have to conduct security patrols. Radios are going to be a huge part of that. So make sure you've got the communication stuff down. See how it all ties together. Get your plate carrier, get your body armor. You definitely have to have that. Whoever's out on security patrols is going to need that. I definitely recommend night vision of some kind. I've done a small short review on the thermal imaging camera that I bought in the past few months. I'm going to do an in-depth video on that soon, nighttime video, so it can show you some of the things that it'll pick up. I'll get somebody out here with me on the farm, and we'll run around and play in the dark, and I'll show you what it picks up at various ranges and whatnot. Think about those sorts of things and get your security stuff in order, and remember that you can't do it alone. If you've got a good-sized family, then it's way beyond time to start training the spouse and the kids, depending on their ages, to help on things like this. But your best bet is get in groups, form groups, and help each other out, especially when it comes to the security phase of things. Start thinking about these things. I still say that we got stuff coming, folks. There's no doubt about it. We've all felt it for a long time. It's a long overdue. And when it hits, whatever it is, whether it's as a result of some sort of economic collapse or some sort of attack on the power grid or something like that, there's going to come a time soon when you're going to be needing the food, the water, the medical, the communications, the security, all of these things that we've been talking about. Get it gathered up, and get it gathered up quick. Security is highly important. What's the good of putting all this stuff together if you're not going to be able to protect it? I'll do a video pretty soon on firearms. We'll see if YouTube's going to ban that video or not, since we're going to have some firearms laid out on the table talking about them. They've been, so far, not too bad from what I've seen. I know some channels that I figured would be completely banned. I thought there some videos that were out there were going to be banned. I don't know. Maybe they were all talk. They haven't banned as much as what we thought they were going to so far. So we're going to attempt to put up a video on firearms soon on what you should do, what you should have as far as the basic firearms, and going to talk about in that video, if you can only have one firearm, what should it be. So keep plugging at it, folks. Here we are into August. Won't be long. You know, football season started last night. Fall is on the way. Winter is coming. Get things ready to rock and roll, because soon that cold weather's going to hit. We'll talk to you again soon on the next video. And God bless you as always. Are you ready?